Question 14. Two people working at the same rate will take 6 hours to paint a room. Assuming that they all work at this rate, how long will it take 3 people to paint the room? So we've got an extra person come along to help, so that would mean it's going to take us less time to paint the room. What we could work out first of all is how many hours of work there are to do. So if 2 people are working and it takes 6 hours to paint a room, then how long would it take for 1 person to paint the room? Then you know how many hours work there are to do altogether, and you can split those hours between the 3 people. So have a think about altogether how many hours of work have to be done if just 1 person is painting the room. And you can figure that one out. Part B, in fact the 3rd person works at a faster rate. How does this affect the time to paint the room? It's a fairly obvious answer. I think most people got this right. If you've got someone who's working more quickly, then what does that do to the time taken to paint the room? Question 15. Right, I've started writing something down here already, so I'll explain it. So, we're told that 3a plus b equals 7. And we're told that 6x plus 8y equals 40. And we have to show that 9a plus 3b has a greater value than 3x plus 4y, and it all sounds complex, especially for just 2 marks. Now what I've done here is linked together the 3a plus 7. In fact, what we'll do is we will highlight the similar things. So 3a plus b equals 7 is linked to this, and we have got 6x plus 8y is 40 is linked to this. So how is that? Well, 3a plus b, what do you have to do to 3a plus b to get 9a plus 3b? Well, this had been multiplied by 3. If we times this by 3, we get 9a. If we times this by 3, we get 3b. So what do you suppose that's happened here? If that's been multiplied by 3, so is this. So we get an answer of 21. Now let's have a look at these green ones here. We've got 6x plus 8y is 40, and that links to this 3x plus 4y. What has happened to get from 6x to 3x and from 8y to 4y? And therefore what has happened to the answer? And you can figure out the number that goes there. Question 16. Circle the point that lies on this line, x minus 3 equals 0. So we're looking for an x coordinate of 3, because 3 take away 3 will be 0. So then you can have a look at your coordinates, think about which one's the x coordinate, which one's the y coordinate, and circle the correct answer. Question 17, you're told that a is a negative odd number. Circle a word that describes a squared. So is the answer going to be negative and odd, negative and even, positive and odd, or positive and even? So you could try out a few things to see what works. We're looking for a negative odd number, so pick any negative odd number. Let's say we did negative 3. Well, if we did negative 3 squared, we would multiply it by itself. So that would be negative 3 times by negative 3. And what does that give us? Well, negative times a negative makes a positive number, and 3 times 3 is 9. Maybe try out another one. Maybe do negative 5 times negative 5. So we've done negative 5 squared. Maybe do negative 7 times negative 7. See what they give you, and then have a look at your 4 possibilities there and see which one matches. Question 18. Circle a ratio which is the same as the scale. So circle a ratio which is the same as the scale. 1 centimetre represents 1 kilometre. So we've got to do the ratio between 1 centimetre and 1 kilometre. And the error people have made here is they've spotted kilometre and they've said 1,000 because there's 1,000 metres in a kilometre. What we need to do is break this down a little bit, because you've got 1 kilometre. I would suggest first of all you turn that into metres. So 1 kilometre is how many meters. And then when you've got it in meters, figure out how many centimeters you've got. So I'll tell you, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Now if you've got 1,000 meters, figure out how many centimeters that is. And then you've got your ratio between kilometers and centimeters.